Namaste. Today we are going to talk about divinity and eyes. Eyes are very important. Vision is very important. Today, because people are wearing masks, we are able to look at their eyes only. Mostly we are able to see their eyes. You can judge easily what a person is thinking when you look at their eyes. Whether a person is happy, whether he is jubilant, whether he is sad, whether he is hungry, whether he is angry, everything can be judged with the help of eyes. Lord Shiva and eyes. Lord Shiva was called Trilochana and Trinetra. Vaidyanatha Ashtakam talks about the glory of the god. Ganga Pravahendu Jadataraya Trilochanaya Smarakala Hantre Samstadevara Vipujitaya Shri Vaidyanataya Namah Shivaya. The god's glory is being described. Vakshotra netrangni vihina janto, Vakshotra netrangni sukhaprataye, Kushtati sarvo natroha hantre Shri Vaidyanataya Namah Shivaya. God can make people who have not walked walk. He can make people who have not spoken speak. The Lord can also restore vision to people. That is the meaning of the stotra. Sundarar was a devotee of the Lord who lost his vision. In Egambareshwara temple in Kanchipuram, one of his eyes had restoration of vision. The other eye became all right when he took a dip in Thiruvarur, in the holy tank. All this is possible by Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is known as Mahanetra because he's got large eyes. And he is also called Visalakshaya Namaha because his eyes are very broad and he can see and perceive everything that even the others cannot see. Such is the greatness of the Lord. There was a hunter who offered worship to Shivling. As soon as he saw the eyes of the Lord bleeding, he decided to do some treatment. But because nothing worked out, he took his eye and planted it on the god's face. The other eye also started bleeding, and so he wanted to remove his other eye and plant it on God's face. That was the time when Lord Shiva appeared and made us realize the greatness of the devotee. The devotee is called Kannappa Nayanar. There was a poet called Nakiran who, despite the fact that he knew that it was the Lord who had made a mistake in the song written by him, he said that it was a mistake. I'm not bothered if you have three eyes. I'm not bothered if you're Lord Shiva. But a mistake is a mistake. That is what he said. So the Lord wanted us to know what kind of equanimity the person had and what kind of a poet he was. That shows the greatness of the Lord. There is a song with reference to the Guru, Vidi Kidaikuma Abhaya Karam Kidaikuma, which talks about the Guru's glance being required and his hands being required for protection. Lord Kartikeya emerged out of the third eye of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva's tears brought the Rudraksham, that's what people say. The Rudraksha with 14 faces has come out from the third eye of Lord Shiva. Kartikeya has got his own valor. He and his veil, as we call his trident, has got lot of goodness. Kaka kaka kanagavel kaka, kangal irandum kadirvel kaka. His eyes are being protected. Our eyes are being protected by the trident. Vidikku thunai thirumen malar padangal. Our eyes are being protected by the lotus feet of Lord Muruga. So such is the greatness of the Lord. Kana kankodi vendum, Kabaliyin bhavani kana kankodi vendum. Says Papanasam Shivan, to see the resplendent glory of Kabalishwara on the chariot, I need 1 crore of eyes. That is what he is asking. There is a temple called Vallishwaran Temple in Mylapore. If we go there and pray, it is very good for ailments related to vision. Similarly, eye of Shakti is also so powerful and beautiful. Saundarya Lahari describes the beauty of Ambal. It says that she has got a face which is crystal clear like a pond, and her eyes are like fish. The fish doesn't want to come out of water because it feels ashamed when it sees the beauty of the eyes of Shakti. Ma Shakti is protecting us. She doesn't sleep for a moment. She doesn't even close her eyes for a moment because she feels once she closes her eyes, there is going to be pralaya. And her eyeballs are always moving like beetles so that she doesn't miss anyone and she protects everybody. There is a beautiful shloka depicting the beauty of the eyes of Kamakshi. Goddess is called Kamakshi. She is called Meenakshi. She is called Visalakshi because of the broad eyes. Matashanam snabhayamam tava vishidena mandakshidena sujanaira prokshidena Kamakshi karma dimirotkara bhaskarena sheyaskarena madhubatyuti daskarane. We have small flowers and we have the beetles which move from one flower to other. They normally bring honey, right? That is how they keep moving. Similarly, the eyes of the goddess are also so powerful. They can remove darkness from our minds, ignorance from our minds. Just like you save people who are positive minded, who are always contemplating on God, please help us and bless us with good health and prosperity and Shreyas. That is what is the request. It depicts the beauty of the goddess. She's called Meenalochini, she's called Angayar Kanni. She's such a beautiful person, the goddess. Mahalakshmi, if she just looks, there will be prosperity everywhere. No poverty anywhere. Such is the beauty of the eyes of the goddess. Appaya Dikshitar, in his Abhita Kuchambastava, says, if you just cast a glance at me, it is equal to a crore of moons. Such is the beauty of the glance of Abhita Kuchamba. So the goddesses' looks and vision is something which is very important, which is sought after. Annapurne Visalachi, Akila Bhuvana Sachi Kadakshi. It refers to Annapurneshwari and her beautiful eyes. Karpahame Kan Parai, Tirumailai Karpahame Kadaikan Parai. Can you not just cast a glance at me? Request Pabanasam Shivan to Kabalishwara's wife Karpahambal. Because her eyes are full of compassion, full of divinity and full of love. We are longing for her vision. There are several people who have X-ray like eyes. They are called Dirghadarshis. I have been to a person who is an incarnation of Ambal, Akhilandeshwari. She is called Madhyuli Saraswati. She is not in physical form. She is a Purna avatar. She was able to read everything. She knew what is going to happen. There was a couple who went and met her, and the person was supposed to undergo an operation. It was related to his heart. He had an heart ailment. They said he has got 2 blocks which has to be removed. She said, no, you have 3 blocks which can be easily removed by operation, and that was true. His 3rd block was also there. It was removed and he is happy for 20 years after that. It has been 20 years after that. No problem. They have X-ray like eyes with which they can find out. It shows the greatness of the gurus. There was a time when Mahapariva asked people to do Annadhanam. It was in 1960s. It so happened that the people who ate in the first batch came back to eat in the 3rd batch, which normally doesn't happen. After all this was over, Pariva was sitting in Kanchipuram, and these people went and told him that this had happened, that everybody had their fill. Pariva asked, why is it that the people who came in the first batch came back in the 3rd batch? And why did you send them out? He had not even seen that. Nobody has told him anything about that, but he was able to see it as part of his vision. They immediately said they were hungry perhaps, and so he scolded the people for not giving them adequate food. So such is the greatness of the gurus, and their vision is something remarkable. What about the beautiful eyes of Lord Vishnu? Kamalanayana Vasudeva is a beautiful song of Bhadrachala Ramadasa which talks about the beauty of the eyes of the Lord. Lord Rama's eyes are beautiful. Valmiki is being told by Narada about the greatness of the Lord. Aravinda Netram Ajanubaham Aravinda Netram. He's got beautiful lotus-like eyes and his structure is so beautiful. He's so tall and hefty is the description given. Vishwamitra is so happy to see the eyes of the Lord, which is so powerful, so compassionate and so beautiful. Goddess Sita, who is an embodiment of love and compassion, has got beautiful eyes. Kambar enjoys in the Ramayana when Sita and Rama meets. He says, Annanum nokinal, avalum nokinal. They're able to exchange their love with eyes and vision. Anjaneya in Namakkal is got there's a very tall statue and his eyes are always looking up bright. The reason he looks up, the reason is there is a statue of Narasimha just opposite him. It was a saligrama which he found out and he kept it in that place when he was helping Rama. So he looks at that. And the vision, he says there is a particular instance in which Anjaneya has seen flowers. The flowers appeared red because Anjaneya was angry at the plight of Sita. So our vision is also very important. Prahlad was able to see only God everywhere, God and goodness everywhere. They say, look through my eyes. I think we can probably borrow Prahlad's eyes and look at the Lord. Surdas was completely blind. He was physically blind, but he had the vision of Krishna every day. He saw Krishna talking, he saw Krishna playing, he saw Krishna eating. He was able to get everything. Once there's a beautiful story which depicts the reflection of Krishna. Krishna, when he saw himself in the mirror, he thought it was himself and was trying to catch hold because he was a baby. At that time, there were people trying to kill him. So he ensured by looking around that nobody comes to kill him. He also ensured by looking around that everybody is protected. With his glance, it shows the beauty of the glance of the Lord and also the great bhakti of Surdas. Lord Balaji has got beautiful eyes. Panduranga has got beautiful eyes, full of compassion. So much about Lord. How beautiful is the eyes of the Lord. Parvai ondre podume, Sanga padumanidhi irandum valiya vandal enna. Parvai ondre podume. What if I get wealth and other things? All that I need is your glance, which is going to bestow your grace on me. That is what is expected. I don't need anything else except your beauty. There are several people who have been born blind but who have achieved so much. Like John Milton, who was a poet, Steve Wonder, a musician, Helen Keller, who was a politician and also an author, Deepak Malik, a cricketer, Ravindra Jain, a singer. So many examples of people who have achieved so much despite their difficulties. Two stories. First is a story of a family. There's a 75-year-old man and his wife. Their children, that is the family is like this. They have two people, the husband and the wife, and their son and daughter-in-law, and also the kids. There are 6 people at home. The father, the grandpa, was blind. He was not able to see. He lost his vision 8 years back. So they were finding it very difficult to handle him. They were not happy. So the children were noticing all that, and one day they called the parents to play hide and seek. They played for half an hour. The parents were not comfortable because they had to close their eyes. They got hurt. They said, we don't like this game. Please play it with the neighborhood children. Immediately, the children said, if you're finding it difficult for half an hour, just imagine the plight of grandpa. He has been suffering like this for ages. Only then, it was an eye-opener for them. They realized that the mistake they made was something bad. They should have been kind, compassionate towards the father. It changed their point of view. Another story. There was a blind boy who was begging for money. He had written in a board, saying, "Today is a beautiful day, please help me, and I'm blind." Very few people helped him. There was a gentleman who came and saw this and altered whatever he had written and went. 24 hours later, the man came and he found that the boy had earned a lot, quite a good sum. And the boy was able to recognize that it was this man who had come yesterday and who was responsible for him earning more because he heard the footsteps. Such a sharp boy. Immediately he asked, "What did you do? How did this happen?" He said, "I just altered some words. Today is a beautiful day. I'm blind. I'm unable to see it." Because they realized they don't want sympathy, they want empathy. Because they were able to step into his shoes and realize what he is going through, they were coming forward to help. This is a story which shows the greatness of people realizing the worth of others, how difficult it is for others. Once you step into others' shoes, things become easier because we are able to help them better. That is the main idea. Today we saw about vision. There have been several people infected with fungal infection because of COVID. So let us pray that everybody gets saved. Now the things are improving with respect to Chennai and rest of the world. So let us pray for the well-being of everyone. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu, which is very, very important. In some parts of the country, there are some temples and there are children who are being called as Kannappa, Kannamma. These are names which we have seen. There's a temple in Natarasan Kotai where the deity's name is Kannatha, meaning the goddess with eyes. She is called Kannatha, which is also very nice to hear. So today we just saw about divinity and vision. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Namaste once again.